Look, I don't think you can force being healthy, man. Like you could do the best you can, and I fucking advise you to do that. Like I think to me personally, health is very important, and I think dudes that don't care about their health, I don't think there's a lot of people that are like that. But it's weird, right? I mean, your health is everything you got, basically, man. Like if you're unhealthy, you won't enjoy life, and you won't live as long. And we only have this one life, so why spend time being unhealthy? Just to get some quick dopamine, to eat a fucking burger. And I'm not saying you can't eat burgers, but the thing is, what I'll be talking about in this video is, you know, that the fact that a lot of people stress themselves out a whole lot when it comes to their health, And I used to be the same way. I'm gonna be breaking down, my issues with that too. And I'm gonna tell you what I do these days to, kind of stay on top of that and not deal with all that bullshit anymore, basically. So, if you knew me back in the day, fucking over 10 years ago, I was fucking shit scared for my health. Like, seriously. Because I saw too many videos online of people being very sick. And, I was so scared that I was gonna get sick too. Like, I had a little bit of headache going on. Went on Google and, I was like, fuck, dude, this is it. I'm gonna fucking die. And it was so stupid, right? If I think back to it, man, like I used to stress myself out over a little BS, dude. Seriously. And it's just when you're chronically online, which is a fucking horrible thing, you get into this. If you get on the wrong fucking algorithm, it's over for you, man. Like, this happened to me a couple of days ago. Is what I'm talking about. This, um, like I watched one video of some guy. He had some illness. I don't know, and he was about to die or whatever. And it just made me feel horrible. And I was like, man, I would have felt for this guy and his family, man. Like I was watching this, feeling bad for him and stuff like that. And of course, you give that video watch time. And next thing you know, next video is going to be about the same shit. People dying, people being sick, and then you start to get those videos about, oh man, if you don't use a fucking an organic towel to wipe your face, you're gonna fucking die. And it's like, man, and you buy into it, bro. Like I was like, man, I went on Amazon, bro. I was like, bro, I gotta fucking buy it. I was stopped myself. I was like, dude, why am I gonna fucking spend money on this bullshit, dude? People want to make money off of my fear. Like people love that you're afraid of shit, right? It's so stupid. I don't get it, man. And again, I was thinking about this. It's like, dude, I gotta fucking talk about this because, you know, these days, with social media, this shit can get exaggerated, man. Like it was bad for me back in the day. Like in today with reels and shit, it can be way worse. Like I was really miserable back then when I was so scared for my health. And the thing is, health is so important, but also what is really bad for your health is stress. And if you're stressing yourself out constantly about all these sicknesses and illnesses, like that can't be good for you. So I'm not sure, dude. Like, it can be fucking hard to make a decision on this sort of stuff sometimes. But if you're on this algorithm, like, dude, I tried to get out of it, man. I tried to get out of it. And what I do these days, when I'm having something like I have a headache, and I'm not gonna be like, man, I'm dead. I'm what I do is, and you guys gonna laugh at me for this. I go and ChatGPT and I have this setting on where it's like really positive, and encouraging. And I fucking ask ChatGPT like, I'm dealing with this shit right now. Fucking what's going on? And most of the times that I fucking did this, ChatGPT told me, hey, calm down, it's all good, man. It will tell you realistically what's going on, and that your fear is probably not really warranted. So I guess if you're dealing with that shit, try that out, I guess. And also what gives me peace of mind is to try to stay on top of my health. Of course, I'm going to be feeling bad and guilty when I stuff my face with fucking burgers and fries and sugar, all day long, every day. You can eat anything. I allow myself one or two cheat meals every week. I think you should do that because, it's very important, to actually enjoy yourself every once in a while. And, it's important for you to keep doing this. If you want to get in shape, like, it's totally okay to have some cravings, bro. Like, every once in a while, I like to eat like a really unhealthy meal, unhealthy, but it's not unhealthy necessarily, in my opinion. I'm not a fucking doctor, by the way. It's not very unhealthy if you just eat every once in a while. I think it's totally fine. And you should do that, in my opinion, just to keep at it so you can do it longer. Like nobody's gonna sustain a diet that's fucking shit they don't want to eat, man. Like you should be giving yourself some leeway every once in a while. I think it's a different topic, but you're gonna sleep much better at night knowing that your diet is healthy. You know, that you don't fucking stuff your face with slop and ice cream. I love ice cream, by the way, but I can't eat it every day, right? It's not really the way to go, man. Especially if you're out of shape and you want to get in shape, dude. Like it's probably not the best way to go about things. But you can have a fucking ice cream on the weekend, man. Like of course, dude, I do this shit all the time. A point being, um, you can also get like checkups at the doctor, get your blood work done, see if everything's okay. Dude, just imagine how much fucking better you're gonna feel. Like I've had my blood work done last year, and yeah, some shit was like not ideal, I guess. But I'm taking some supplements. I'm working on it, man. Of course, and it's gonna get better, right? Just to stay on top of that, it's like kind of like a thing that I like to do. But it's just the worst thing ever when you get stuck in that cycle of you being afraid of shit, man. Oh no, like the soap that I use for my hands got a chemical in it. It's just not good. I'm gonna die, man. It's not the way to go about things. Probably probably the fucking stress you experience from stressing about is worse than the fucking chemical in the soap. I'm not sure, but could damn well be the case. And people are so deeply invested into this topic. I saw a post yesterday where it was like, dude, they posted some sort of actor from the '60s, good looking dude, and you had people in the comments being like, yo, it's because of the microplastics, man. Today they got the microplastics in the food. They didn't have that back. And I was like, dude, you could have just found a picture of an ugly guy from the '60s. There's plenty of ugly guys in the fucking '60s. So it's just a case of they picked out a good looking dude, and people are like, man, it's the microplastics. No, it's not the microplastics. I'm not saying microplastics are good. I think this is a problem for sure. But I think some people go a bit too far with their explanation of it, like, this post was just so stupid, or not the post, but the comments, right? Like people had, tons of likes on those types of comments. It was really weird. It was really odd. Some people just, they live in their own health IG space, and this is the same shit. Like on Instagram, bro, you had these people eating like rotten meat, bro. I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? And they come up with these weird explanations of it. They're like, man, yeah, it's for the gut bacteria. I don't know what the fuck they were saying. And I was just like, and they were fucking on the verge of throwing up eating that shit. Like, why would that make any sense, right? They were like, yeah, this is the thing you should be doing. You should be eating rotten meat. All of a sudden, motherfucker doesn't post anymore. He might have fucking died. Who knows? You know? And people, you just have to sound halfway smart explaining this shit, and people are going to eat it up online. They're going to see this, say, this dude eating like rotten, fermented, bro. It's fermented. Like, you eat sourdough bread, right? Or sauerkraut, bro. I'm just going to eat rotten meat, bro. It's been fucking sitting in the fucking glass. It smells like shit. And I'm throwing up while eating it. Yeah, this is going to be good for me for sure. Like, what the fuck are we doing at this point? You know? And those are the same people that eat rotten meat will be the same people that are gonna be like, man, gotta watch out for that Diet Coke, man. Got that aspartame in it. And it's like, bro, we've completely lost the plot at this point. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like I think the fitness space is weird, but the health space is even weirder. And it can be very, very what's the word? Confusing. It has confused me for sure, but I think, I think we should all try to look into the actual science and not some fucking guy from Instagram that's eating rotten meat, throwing up, and be like, man, this shit is awesome. I think, there's some nuance to everything, and if you can explain something these days very well, you can win a lot of people over, and you should be careful of that. So what I like to do is actually look at the science, and those same people are going to be like, man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. It's all corrupted. And, these companies buy these studies and shit. And I can't disprove it, but I think it's still my best bet. This is just my opinion. It's still my best bet to look at meta-analysis of XYZ topic. Probably going to be better off than some fucking guy on Instagram that just bases it on his own opinion and experience, It's just the way it is. These days, I'll get called an idiot for saying shit like this, but health is such an important topic. That's why, you know, I've always been interested in it. But yeah, man, I think that's all I got for today. Leave your comments in the section below. Let me know what you think, man. See you on the next one.